Jennifer and I we were both raised in the church. My father was a pastor at North Anderson for 10 years, and so we had a real good background with the church going and learning a base about God and Christianity and how to lead our lives and so forth. Then after we got married, probably a couple years after that, we slowly started to drop off and for various reasons, but church just became less and less important to us. We didn't know why, but that's how things began for us through our marriage.
I grew up in the church too, all my life in the church, and then after we got married, we continued going to church a little bit, but I think what sort of happened is we both got into just life, we got busy. It wasn't really a high priority going to church. And for me personally, I didn't find church all that interesting. It didn't seem to really touch me, the services. It's not that I completely couldn't relate, it's just that it wasn't my thing, it didn't touch me.
A time frame in our marriage when Jennifer was working and traveling extensively, week in, week out. We grew apart. We grew apart steadily, and it was so steady that we didn't notice it until outside forces in the world started to grab a hold of both of us, and we realized that we really weren't one anymore. And when that day happened, it was a lot of soul searching and some tough decisions, and the bridge was there for us during that time period. But that was in our marriage when we got to that point, and some forces were pulling us so strongly that we felt fortunate that we rolled into the bridge, and it really helped us have the strength to pull our marriage together and to break free of those shackles that were holding us apart from each other. So.
When I was at rock bottom, I felt like, I literally felt like I was drowning, like I was in a deep ocean and I couldn't find the surface. And our marriage, our marriage was practically over. And a friend of ours had invited us to the bridge, and so we decided to come a time or two and try it out. And I really liked it, and I think Andy was maybe a little more reserved or unsure about it than I was at the time, but I did like it, and I just decided, that this was something that was touching me. And actually, we weren't even coming to the bridge regularly, but what wound up happening is in our marriage and on a personal level, we were at the bottom, and I hit rock bottom, and we decided we had to get back into church, and so we continued coming to the bridge, and then were coming regularly where we didn't want to miss, and it just seemed like every message that Chris was speaking, he was speaking directly to us, and something that we needed at that time. And as a couple, for Andy and I, we've actually gotten involved in the church, and we are meeting other couples and socialize with them. Involved in a home team, things like that brings us together as a couple, that we can surround ourselves with other Christian couples. And another thing that we appreciate about the people so much here is that they're real, and we feel like we can be ourselves around them and support each other and fellowship with each other.
When we first heard that the bridge had acquired a building and we were going to have a home to call our own, it was exciting, but for me it was a little bit different. It was exciting because I'm tired of setting up and tearing down every Sunday. The building itself didn't really mean a lot to me. It doesn't feel like the building is what we're about, but we have to have a home somewhere, and I understand that, and I think we've been blessed. I think God's been with us every step of the way, and how this has unfolded, and the story of how it unfolded, to be honest with you, didn't shock me one bit. It felt right. It's just another piece of God's grace for our church.